Welcome to 21 Poets. Today's conscious question is, where are all the migrants coming from? Did you know that there are over 100 different countries, resulting in thousands upon thousands of people caravanning their way to the U.S. border, risking their lives to cross into the Darien Gap? Just in case if you didn't know about the Darien Gap, well, now you know. The Darien Gap is a vast, untamed jungle that stretches 66 miles long, 30 miles wide, and it is a gap that separates the border of Colombia and Panama. This jungle contains a variety of dangerous entities, from poisonous snakes and spiders to paramilitary groups and native people waiting to rob and rape and pilfer the migrants traveling through this terrain. Once across the Darien Gap, this journey is far from over, because after passing through the Panama, the migrants must power hike their way through the intense heat and cold nights across 5 Mexican states that finally reach the U.S. border. My name is Dwayne Anthony, and this is 21 Poets. This is a people and poetry conscious channel. We talk to the people, we ask the conscious questions, and we look for well-lit conscious answers. And of course, we recite the poetry. If you like this type of content, please subscribe, because this helps the channel grow and you be a part of the community. With that being said, on with the content. Let's go. Now back to the question at hand. Where are the migrants coming from? Yes, you heard right the first time, from all over the world. There are over 100 countries with caravans of people by the thousands fleeing this part of the world, seeking a better life for themselves, by risking their lives just to get to the drop-off point in South America. It's either by plane, cargo ships, boats, or canoes. This is the port of entry to the Americas on the edge of the country of Colombia in the city of Turbo. Known for its modern-day cartels involving themselves in the secret trade of migrant traffic and of human cargo through the Darien Gap. It is from there they are carried by riverboats close to the Panama border. This is an area controlled by the FARC leftist regime, who has been trying to overthrow the Colombian government. The FARC leftist group, who are also known to work with the drug cartels and village people who live along the rivers. The rebels are a very brutal paramilitary group. Many have lost their lives trying to pass through the Darien Gap with no permission. Human guides, known as coyotes, will swing deal agreements with the cartels, and the rebel leftist group, along with eluding the Panama soldiers, will pass into this route through the Darien Gap. Some of these routes are the same pathways and trails that the drug smugglers and leftist criminals take to reach into Mexico. It is there where the most difficult part of the journey begins. But before we begin there, we must ask ourselves this question: what is the cause for so many people wanting to leave this country? But before we can answer that question, we first must look back into the 1500s, where many powerful countries who had colonized these nations of the indigenous people from all over the world, which will bring us into the now and the present, for these colonized nations are now sovereign countries with their indigenous people who are now living in vast no-man lands and the subcultures of villages throughout the parts of their country facing hunger, basic life support supplies, lack of employment, which are prevalent in many of these countries such as Venezuela, El Salvador, Haiti, Cuba. This is only just to name a few of the hundreds of countries to follow. What are the migrant people running from? A stabilizing government. This situation can vary from country to country, from civil war, corruption of government, cartel gang violence, and famine, along with global warming with weather catastrophes and the economic gap that stands between from being in a third world country. All these variables will have the cause and effect that will make these people take extraordinary risk of their lives for this dangerous and unknown journey by way of walking. For many have lost their lives, for this is the vision of freedom, of safety, and the new way of life in the United States of America. With all this being said, I leave you with this conscious question: if you were in their shoes, what would you do? My name is Dwayne Anthony, and this is 21 Poets.